Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's talk about a rumor that's been buzzing around the NFL circles and could seriously shake up the NFC East. It's about the Atlanta Falcons, who are currently sitting at 2-7 and clearly in full rebuild mode. Their season has been a mix of struggles and tough lessons, especially on the offensive side, where their run game has been pretty much stifled, averaging just 3.5 yards per carry. It's no secret that the Falcons are eyeing a reset, and one name that's been floated as part of their rebuild plans is Bijan Robinson, the star running back out of Texas and one of the most exciting talents in this year's draft class. Now, the big question is, could Robinson be heading to Washington? And what would that mean for the Commanders? Well, let's dig into the details. The buzz is that the Falcons, sitting at a crossroads with a 2-7 record, are willing to part ways with Robinson in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's a pretty significant move for a team that's looking to rebuild from the ground up. Atlanta's front office sees Robinson as a valuable piece they can flip now to get some draft capital and save about $9 million in cap space, which they'll need as they focus on their rebuild and a potential reset of their roster. Meanwhile, the Falcons, odds of making the playoffs remain slim, around plus 1,500, and their run game has been underwhelming, just 3.5 yards per carry on average. So it seems like they're prepared to sacrifice some talent now to build for the future. On the flip side, the Washington Commanders, sitting at 3-6 but still very much in the playoff hunt, are desperately looking for a spark. Their offense, especially their running game, has lacked that explosive burst that can turn games around. Brian Robinson Jr. has been solid but inconsistent, and the team's offensive line, ranked 28th in pass blocking, isn't exactly helping create those big running lanes. The thought is that Bijan Robinson could be the perfect piece to address that gap, a true RB1 who can bring a burst of energy and help balance out Washington's offense, especially alongside their passing game that's been struggling a bit. The idea makes sense when you consider Robinson's impressive stats in 2025. Up until September 15th, he's accumulated 456 rushing yards on 99 carries, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. He also has 22 receptions for 198 yards and 4 touchdowns with an 88.6 grade from PFF, which is elite. He's being talked about as an all-pro candidate and has been compared favorably to some of the best young backs in the league. Robinson's elusiveness, vision, and ability to break tackles are all top tier. His career totals already boast over 200 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns, and he's been a proven playmaker. His EPA per rush is plus 0.22, and he's forcing an average of 2.1 missed tackles per game, which speaks to his ability to make defenders miss in tight spaces. The metrics show a player with a burst score of 95, that's among the best in the league, and he's been healthy, playing 85% of the snaps this season. The impact of adding Robinson to Washington's backfield could be immediate. His success rate of 68% and the fact that he's forced 25 missed tackles already make him a game changer. When you look at his receiving stats, he's averaging 9 yards per reception and 1.8 yards per route run, making him a dual threat who can catch out of the backfield and turn screens into big gains, comparing him to someone like Travis Etienne Jr. Of the Jaguars, Robinson's success rate and burst score put him in the conversation as one of the most dynamic young backs in the league. His vision rating of 9.2 out of 10 is exceptional, and he's shown the ability to see the field and hit the right holes, something the Commanders need desperately. Now, why would Atlanta trade Robinson? Well, the Falcons are focusing more on their passing game, which is their current strength. They have about $7 million in cap space free, and their current roster depth at running back is okay. They have other options, but Robinson's potential and youth make him highly coveted. Atlanta is projecting a rough finish this season, with a forecasted 4-13 record and odds of plus 25-0 to win the Super Bowl. They're clearly looking to rebuild from the ground up, and part of that involves acquiring draft picks. Trading Robinson for a second-rounder in 2026 makes strategic sense, especially if they believe they can find a replacement or develop other players in the meantime. The risk, of course, is losing a potential star back, but for a team aiming for a total rebuild, it's a calculated gamble. Meanwhile, the Commanders see Robinson as their missing piece, a dynamic back who can finally give their offense that needed spark. Washington's rushing attack has been somewhat underwhelming this season, with Brian Robinson Jr. rushing for around 200 yards so far, but with a rush efficiency of just 3.9 yards per carry, they're craving more explosiveness. Robinson's numbers, with a 9.2 vision rating compared to their current 7.1, and a boost of nearly 1 yard per carry, could be the difference maker. When projecting his impact into the upcoming games, especially in the playoffs, Robinson could become their workhorse, averaging around 110 rushing yards per game, and significantly improving their red zone rushing attempts by roughly 13%. This potential acquisition would also align with Washington's overall strategy of building a balanced, explosive offense. Their cap space of around $12 million is manageable for adding a player of Robinson's caliber, and the coaching staff would likely see him as a cornerstone piece, especially as they look to turn this season around and make a push for the postseason. Their recent run of 3 wins in 6 games shows some signs of progress, but they need more consistency and big plays to truly contend. Robinson could be that spark, helping them overcome divisional rivals like the Giants, who have been trying to rebuild themselves too. In terms of the bigger picture, Robinson's addition could elevate Washington's odds of making a deep playoff run. Right now, their Super Bowl odds are around +20, but with a possible upgrade at the running back position, those odds could shorten significantly to around +9. That's a huge jump and shows how impactful a star like Robinson could be in the right system. The team's offensive line, although shaky at times, would benefit from his ability to create yards after contact and sustain drives. His burst score of 95 and his ability to force OL relief, especially from the left tackle position, would make him a foundational player in their ground game. Of course, not everyone is sold on the idea. The Falcons, with odds at +30 to win the Super Bowl, are clearly looking at this from a different perspective. They're more focused on their rebuild and might prefer to keep Robinson if possible, but the temptation of adding draft capital and cap savings might be too good to pass up. Their front office is likely weighing the risk of losing a potential franchise back against the benefits of starting fresh with a new core of young players and future draft picks. This trade, if it happens, isn't just about swapping a talented running back for a draft pick. It's about building an empire. The Commanders are clearly chasing that vision of glory, and adding Robinson could be the move that takes them from a decent team to a true contender. His speed, vision, and playmaking ability could turn Washington's offense into a nightmare for defenses, especially in the red zone and during crucial third-down conversions. It's all about that speed element, that explosive burst that can stretch defenses and open up opportunities for the passing game, which has been a bit stagnant at times. Looking ahead, if Washington pulls the trigger, they're not just making a short-term move. They're setting a foundation for a sustained rebuild, aiming to develop a solid core of young, talented players who can grow together. Robinson's presence in the backfield would also take some pressure off the passing game, giving quarterback Sam Howell more options and time to operate. The coaching staff would have a versatile weapon to design plays around, making the offense more unpredictable and harder to defend. And let's not forget, the NFC East is getting more competitive every year. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants are all trying to level up their rosters, and Washington needs to keep pace if they want to finally break through and contend for a Super Bowl again. A move like acquiring Bijan Robinson could be the spark that ignites their playoff push, especially if he stays healthy and performs at the high level he's capable of. His combination of speed, vision, and pass-catching ability makes him a perfect fit for the modern NFL and for a team like Washington that's looking to build a balanced, explosive offense. To sum it all up, this is a story about opportunity, potential, and strategic moves in the NFL's chess game. The Falcons are in full rebuild mode, eyeing draft picks and cap space, while the Commanders are looking to capitalize on their current window and push for a playoff run with a star running back. If this trade comes to fruition, it could define the trajectory of both teams for years to come. Washington fans, keep your eyes peeled because this could be one of those moves that turns the tide, shifts the power dynamics in the NFC East, and possibly even puts the Commanders back on the Super Bowl map. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe Robinson can be the game changer the team needs? Would you be willing to see a star like him in the burgundy and gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This is an exciting time for the franchise, and if they pull off a move like this, it could be the beginning of a new era, one where the Commanders are back in the hunt for greatness. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Commanders.